Oya, chiro nomba kanga tashi dele, kanga dewa de ki woya boyo irewa yo.
So first of all, Tashi Tele, greetings to all of my Dharma friends. I hope that you're well and I hope that you're happy.
Ane, ta nga rosu deshi ngine, ane gwa, ta ya sega nuni ndeba nuji, ta korupake tata, ane ndewa yo na, ta kanisi draga arsan, zo, demba yagatoni hini binchi toke yagi densi chires.
So in terms of that real happiness, that lasting happiness that we seek, if we really have a wish to arrive at that lasting happiness, I will speak a little bit about how we depend, how we use the Four Noble Truths to be able to do that.
다 뒤눈에 대시 ngine nga zo nasa도 마스네 나사 ngine puge nasa tambo halewi tigu cawachi pa 좋아서나 ane halewi ki mo cawachi yung kora was 다 대돈다와 나로서가 거의 어다 첨보치 파puge 과도서나 nguba 쇼와 sene ngudechi puge ngu다 도야가 디세치 레기와레스.
So just like if you imagine when you are suffering from an illness for a long time and then you are able to be cured and healed of that illness, the kind of very great peaceful happiness that you achieve from that, then in the same way, if we are able to achieve the cessation of suffering, an incredible happiness can arise. And this happiness is known as cessation. It is also known as peace.
tambo gani jawa shomba yin ji lama ka le yin ngaru na chal pe ja ni demba ji de si wo ja ya was.
So Venerable Maitreya in the Uttara Tantra Shastra, he actually compared our situation of suffering to being like an illness.
Dunga demba sa ngaru su ta pe na cha ju ku chawo ji ya re o da ni ya ya was o te te du ji ba re de ya re standa.
So in terms of the first noble truth, true sufferings, he said that those sufferings that we experience, this is like the example of an illness, of a sickness.
Da te ya ju ku chawo ji no lo yo ba ji te la te ne ka ne mo mo yong go yo na te ha ma ko ne da pi to bo ji men ko ha ko ma was.
However, one could be suffering, but if one doesn't know the type of illness that one is having, one will continue to suffer, right? Unless one is able to see a doctor.
어디서 등아 시바샤 사데데 어디 노지나 사데 시그거를 마도 그 매바줘야 마시나 매바줘야 아니 저도 신경 말아 왔어.
So that is why the Buddha said that sufferings should be known. If we are not able to understand, if we are not able to know or recognize the disease that we are suffering from, we will not be able to be healed from it. So sufferings must be known.
다 대하고 자수는 다대 내가 매와서 그거야. 이제 대코로 벌을 따다 레사를 와서 지우지를 왔어. 다디 저때 자와 가만히 운도 만도 다대 하려고 했지요.
And so then we recognize those sufferings and then we think, well, we don't want to experience those sufferings, right? We want to clear that suffering away. So then the next step that we need to think about is if we want to get rid of that suffering, we need to get rid of the causes. We need to cease the causes of suffering.
다 되니 다 저때 거도서나 아니 안 리버도 지바 안 리버도 지바 좀 맞춰서나 될은 무대 세미다가래 스티카디딜라.
So at that moment, the moment that we can cease those causes of suffering, if we cease the cause, the result of suffering will no longer arise. When the result of no suffering is no longer arising, that state is called cessation, true cessations.
다 들이지 다 들이면 양구대대에서 보게 가지고 더더보게 라테고요.
So Geshe said that today he will try to give at least a little bit of a pointing, a little bit of a feeling for this topic of true cessations, and he will try to present it like from the point of view of an analytical meditation.
강가래도 셀레레 지나다 가셔면만 양 그냥 가디나 좀만 걸어 센로그 미스 다다리 세템 보여 보지 모르이스.
So first, put your body and mind in a relaxed state. Just have this intention that you won't allow unwholesome or meaningless thoughts to arise, that today I'm going to engage my mind in a stable way with our topic.
대용 가침보 가디나 세 실로를 처음 소소 세 놀로치 따도 이나 내서 간리지 요래 세녀로 이제 왜 싸워
So if we are able to stop for a moment our mind from going outside, from going to those outside distractions, and we are able to look within, as we examine within the mind, we can look at the mind's nature of pure luminosity.
ko이니까 샘도 세 두마니 세대한테 그래서 강에제 되게 샘 대저 컨트롤할 수 있는 단자 말을 받을 수 있는 용도야.
So in terms of this mind, if we look within the mind and if we look at the mind's true nature of that pure luminosity, it is covered by the adventitious afflictions like attachment, anger, and especially ignorance.
이나요. 나는 다 말해봐 간디지 이나요. 대저 컨트롤 맞아. nhiệm 간디지 이나요. 세도 용도를 다 되니 가려야 할 테니 이나요.
So, however, although that ignorance grasping at the self and the associated afflictions like attachment, anger, and pride are abiding there together with the mind, they may be abiding there, but they are not the mind's true nature.
이나요. 세그rum주 자치고 바르지 거니라. 고로수 가디 이나래 가지네라. 은행하라서 거인이 갈까면 되어요.
But although that ultimate nature of the mind is there, because it is obscured by the afflictions, we're not able to use it. And in fact, those afflictions compel us to the activities which cause us to continue to abide, to continue to circle within samsara.
게라 빠바노지 고세도 녀도 내내 되는 거라서 가면 되고 이나요. 세코로 뭐래 돼가 말이야.
Like the peel of a banana, those afflicted minds, those unwholesome minds are together with our mind's ultimate nature, but they are not the ultimate nature.
하나로서 대신이네 지거요나 결라가 빠바를 지름바 지다 마시는 누 임보티시 되고요.
If we want to experience real happiness, then what we have to do is just as we would gradually peel away the banana to reveal the fruit, we must peel away those afflictions to reveal the mind's true nature, its essence.
배나 배지 잡아 인 배세나문디 는 체진라고 지 군도다고 자자바이나 세그로 일 주요 말에 틴티니 이나용으로서 근데 노지되는 가디나 내가시야.
So if we take an affliction as an example, we can think about anger. And although anger is not the nature of the mind, it is continually obscuring, it is continually present and causing us problems.
녀래 가게 마치는 따로 되바이나 세그로 운전하고 때문하고지 가디나 코디아 토바로지 디와스.
So if we don't engage in any practice to try to address anger, then it will continue to abide there, obscuring the nature of our mind, its potential.
다 갈래 군도세야 돼. 이 간디치를 군도사가 야나요 마. 네 이제 뒤도면 이제 딱 고록 소만오 이래데도 만 아니 제가시가.
So what we have to do when we speak about anger when we think about the anger arising in relation to an object like a person, we have to think, is that really based on reason or not? Is the actual situation really as I see it through this lens of anger or not?
Kuntroke somba noshingana su yopo chune laka cheba ina deshingine chi ragade ragamande.
If I continue to act as the servant to anger whenever angry thoughts arise, if I live my life like that, will I really be able to achieve true happiness or not?
Nidari ina yo mudu tundrosa ina yo ye kiwo meba zaya rungo kiwo meba chaya kanga anolo kuntroke tata laka siwo chikinduas.
If I look at the temporary level, when I am angry, it causes sufferings to all of the beings around me, whether human or animal. It also causes so much suffering to myself.
Chese sheka madu demo kwa madu wa ina yo di dise tela dewa mandawachi dinduas lele mandawachi lele chiwa.
If I'm able to stop this anger from arising for even 30 minutes, for even 1 hour, what kind of feeling arises within the mind? There is a special feeling of happiness and peace that arises, isn't there?
Tani machi, tachachi, tawachi, lone lo tendechine nyambo kwa deva yina kale kuungola. Ane chitsawana waniva noji kale koma shuri nore mendo kale sega nore pito yares.
So if I engage with the antidotes to anger like patience from hour to hour, from day to day, from month to month, from year to year, slowly, like warm water will melt away and dissolve snow, that anger will diminish and diminish until it can completely dissipate.
Sega nore kasi ji pito yina di tiene zute di ji shine le ngamba saya le ngamba tela din diru kange ga cha tsoma kwa.
If I am able to completely get rid of anger, if I am able to completely push it out of my mind, then the negative karma that arises due to anger and the actions compelled by anger will not be accumulated. So those causes will not be accumulated, and the resultant suffering of those causes will not have to be experienced.
Kuntroyo te nuji sega nune pito yare dechare ngajare tadula soba chatsuma sega nune te nuji pito yare so lekachena.
And if we really put our mind to it, then not only will we be able to completely push out anger from our mind, but we will also be able to get rid of attachment, to get rid of pride, to get rid of jealousy, and so forth.
Ona koros pito ya jitse zo karare.
And what is the reason that we are able to get rid of them?
Hallewe tembo to shuche wanda wachindiwas.
They seem really stable and powerful, don't they?
Demba yare kandisires.
But are they true or not, these afflictions?
Dembito fize zo ya mares. Ina yu kombito ya ita ngaruso nuwa dembo do kadina rujina wachitonte yare.
They don't have any power of truth behind them at all. But because we are habituated to these afflicted minds, they do have the power of habituation. And because of that habituation, that is the reason that they appear to be so strong and powerful.
Nese tindichi ita demba tene mea ita kurosu sonsete kanga lupa ita ani shira kaze shujir losuna kale kurosu tsawa mariba jiba shano.
Because they are not true, because these afflictions are fundamentally mistaken minds, then the more and more that we increase our wisdom, that is the opponent, the root of ignorance, the more and more those afflictions will diminish.
강에 줘야 메버게 되게 다즈 마리바 자와 아니 야라 대조 컨트롤하서 봐 차츠마 거를 시도야 이자 야서 여보 가리스 말이야.
Because we are able to eventually push through and eliminate the root of all of those afflictions, the ignorance, grasping at the self, then definitely anger, attachment, jealousy, and so forth will similarly be dissipated. How incredible is that? The moment that we realize the antidote to that ignorance grasping at the self, we realize the emptiness of the mind, we are able to achieve true cessations of suffering. Don't be distracted by just small or momentary moments of peace, but think, I really want to be able to reach that ultimate peace. I won't be able to meet my goals until I achieve true cessations.
Yeah.
So we'll pause the meditation there. So that is the end of our brief presentation, and Geshe is just reiterating that if you really think about and examine these afflictions or these unwholesome minds, you'll see they have no ground on reality. They have no basis on reason, right? There's no basis on reason, and we can definitely develop our wisdom to push them out of the mind. And in this way, we can take a playful approach, right, to dealing with this, almost like playing a game. So when we speak about really the tools that make everything possible, it's these qualities of the mind itself as well as the mind's emptiness, right? That nature of it, though, at the moment it is like it is covered by these mistaken, afflicted minds. So if we are able, though, to peel through those layers of afflictions, just like we peel through an onion, peeling layer by layer by layer, eventually we are able to completely get rid of a karma and affliction altogether. And at that moment, one achieves true cessation. Then we'll achieve that real lasting happiness, not like this kind of unsteady, fleeting happiness that we experience now. So thank you very much. I'll stop here. But really, if you think about that, this is a direction to go very happily with the mind.